Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm reviewing Mortal Kombat, the new movie out that is currently in theaters and is also on HBO Max. This is obviously the new 2020 version based on the video game, obviously, and then for those fans of you that based on the late 90s, two movies in the 90s, like the first one I believe was 98, the first Mortal Kombat movie, and then the second one that was really bad. We don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about that first movie back in the 90s. But this one was really good. I really enjoyed it. For what it is, it was a really enjoyable film. It's the same basic story that you know because you've seen the original film, you've seen this one. There's a tournament between the Earth and other realm, which is full of psychotic killers that with supernatural powers, and they've won. The other world has won 9 tournaments in a row. If they win this 10th one, then they get to take over Earth. They get to invade Earth. So they're basically, there's this evil god that's trying to get that win, and so he wants to send his fighters before the tournament to cheat to take out Earth's warriors before they assemble. And on the other side, there's of course Lord Raiden. He's trying to assemble a team and everybody. He's supposed to be on the team, but he has a symbol. It's the insignia from the video games with the dragon, the Mortal Kombat dragon. So he's ready to assemble a team of people, and of course it's people that from the game. Jax, Sonya, Liu Kang. Then of course, I think who I love too is Kano. That strange guy. He was like the comedic relief of this movie. He was really funny. He's always having one-liners, and he was really enjoyable in the film. And so basically, they have to be trained and fight against the other team. And that team was led by Scorpion, who I think is one of the best characters in this game. I mean, in this movie. He does some really dope things. Of course, he does his freeze attack, and he's like lopping people's limbs off and stuff like that with his freeze. And he can like stop fire right in midair with his freeze, like he stop a bullet with his freeze, everything. So he's really badass. And then one character who's the descendant of his Japanese soldier called Hanzo. He was, back in ancient Japan, he had been killed, and so he's like the only descendant. And so now Sub-Zero is hunting him down. And so I think his name's Cole. So and so basically all these. They have to come together, this whole group of instructors, and they go to the air to be trained by Raiden and Liu Kang and other them, and so they have to figure out their power and then fight off the other world because they all have powers. And so basically this all happens before the tournament because the other god is trying to sabotage the team so the tournament doesn't even happen. So I really enjoyed some of the special effects are great in this movie. You see, fatalities galore. If you're wondering about that, there's tons and tons of fatalities. It's pretty gruesome. The action's great. You can tell it's well choreographed. So good fighting, plenty of action. In fact, the times where they kill somebody says flawless victory or fatality or and then when the Kano wins, so they're just taking all the stuff from the actual games and putting them in the as all these Easter eggs to fans. Doing fan service galore in this movie. That's basically it. So I really enjoyed that. But if we're being real, this movie's not going to win any awards for the dialogue. I mean, I'd say some parts the dialogue is kind of bad. You can tell his director is his first time directing, so you can definitely tell it's definitely choppy at parts with the story, and sometimes with the dialogue you're just like, ugh, it's kind of cringy. But if you're not there for that, if you're just there for the fighting, if you're there for the brutality and the gruesomeness, then you kind of forget about that. It's not a big deal. So that's the only downside, is the dialogue and some of the story structure. It's kind of very predictable, but the fights make up for it. I mean, especially the end fight there is really great. You'll definitely love that. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you'll love this movie. This is definitely the remake that you're waiting for, and it definitely planted the seed at the end to kind of continue the franchise. So depending how well this movie does, there is definitely room for a sequel, and then maybe you can see the actual tournament. That'd be nice, because that's the thing that was promised that you haven't seen. So I definitely recommend seeing if you like the games. If you liked the original Mortal Kombat movie, I definitely recommend watch this movie. If this is not kind of genre for you, then I would say avoid it because you won't enjoy it. But if you're into this genre, if you like, martial arts movies, if you like video game movies, stuff like that, this is right down your alley. You'll definitely love Mortal Kombat. So I highly recommend either catch it out in theaters or you catch it on HBO Max. All right. So once again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. And if you've seen the movie, leave comments below. Tell me what you thought. And as always, like, share, subscribe. Thank you, and talk to you later.